back to my channel. For those of you that are new, hello, my name is V. I post nail tutorials once or twice a week depending on how crazy the schedule gets. I am so excited to be back on camera, and I honestly kind of forgot how to even do this. But we're going to be doing a giveaway. That is why I decided to get back to it. I haven't done a giveaway, and typically I do tons and tons throughout the month of December, but it has been so hectic. If you can relate, definitely comment down below in the comment section, because this year has been insane. So for our giveaway, I'm going to be sending one lucky winner the Flawless Pro Mug Cart Efile. This thing is powerful. It is so cute. I absolutely adore the stand that it comes with, and it is also rechargeable, which I know is a must in a lot of nail textbooks. All you have to do is share this video to someone that you think would benefit from this video, from this Efile. Maybe you want to gift it to them, but you can't. Here is your opportunity to win this Efile. Comment down below when you are done and let me know how your day is going and how your year was. Good luck to all of you guys. I hope you enjoy the video. Now let's get right into it. Getting right into today's video, we are starting off by removing the shine from her natural nail and etching it ever so lightly so that the product adheres perfectly. I'm going to start off by using my Efile at a speed of 3000 RPMs. Along with that, I'm using a medium grit sanding band on the Profiles Backstage mandrel bit. I'm simply just pushing back her cuticles while doing this as well, so do note that I do not use a cuticle pusher. I just use my bit for this. And then I'm going to be simply buffing off that shine. We are just focusing on buffing off shine. I'm not trying to remove layers from her nails, so do note that you need only a light amount of pressure when doing this. Very gently, of course, so that we do not cause any indentations on her natural nail.
Sería una experiencia religiosa. Este mahón es otra cosa. Sigue perdiéndome así como si el mundo llegara a su fin. Más de ti yo quiero un chin. Quiero quitarte ese panticito suprime. Te tengo una propuesta.
Now once I'm done buffing off that shine, I'm going to go in and do a little bit more of a thorough job on that cuticle area. So I am taking this diamond bit from Profiles Backstage. I still have my Efile at 3000 RPMs. Remember that this Efile is very powerful, so you want to make sure you are using light amount of pressure and being extra careful. I'm just pretty much removing that excess dead skin from her cuticle area, and that helps make the product adhere a little bit better as well. Next, I'm going to be going in and just buffing off that dead skin from her cuticles. This can be done with cuticle nippers, scissors, or anything of choice, but I prefer to just use this cuticle bobbit from Profiles Backstage. It just makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. I have actually started using cuticle nippers, and honestly, it helps a ton, but it is a little bit scary, and you do not want to do this if you are a beginner and you're not well educated on that, because you can cut off live skin and cause infections and all of that. So make sure you are comfortable with the items that you are using. I'm going to go ahead and apply her tips. So I'm just filing down this pinky nail, and I'm going to be taking these tips from Amazon. I absolutely love these tips. They are squared, but they do not have a C curve, and they are perfect for square nails and tapered square nails. So I'm just going to be applying that with some brush on glue, and then we're going to be trimming them to the client's length of choice. And I'm also going to be making sure that I file them nicely, specifically on the sidewalls, so that they fit perfectly to her natural nail. Very quickly, I'm going to be taking my 5-in-1 bit from Kiara Sky. My Efile is at a speed of about 8,000 RPMs, and I'm just going to be taking that just on that tip area, and I'm going to blend that to the natural nail. We are not filing her natural nail with this bit. Do note that I am simply just filing down that plastic tip that I applied on her. Now at this point is when I'm going to be making sure that I file those sides so that they fit perfectly. And I'm also going to be squaring off that tip just to make my acrylic application just a little bit easier and for it to go on there a lot smoother. If you have any little pieces of tip kind of sticking up or anything like that, I promise you it can get really annoying with your acrylic application, or even when you're doing your final filing. Sometimes some of that can peep through, so you want to make sure that you just go ahead and fix it from the beginning. Now I'm going in with my favorite combo, which is a lint free wipe and a little bit of young nail swipe. I use this stuff for everything. I'm going to go ahead and remove those excess oils from her natural nail while also removing that dust that we may have left behind. I'm going to go ahead and use Triple X Bond from Not Polish as the primer. You can use 2 coats of this. You can always put them back to back if you are quick enough, or you can do 1 layer of that primer, and as you're applying the nails, go ahead and apply it on the nail as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply my acrylic, usual acrylic application. If you are a beginner nail tech, definitely check out my beginner basics playlist. I have so many informative videos on that go really in depth, but I'm pretty much going to be using as much beads as I feel necessary. For this one specifically, I am only using 2, and throughout the process you will be able to see that I kind of go back and forth just depending on the length of the nail and how thick I want to make it. So here I'm using the Kiara Sky Monomer for reference, and I'm also taking the size 12 acrylic brush from Not Polish for my application. We're going to be taking a medium-sized bead, and as you notice, I placed it right where the tip meets the natural nail. That is essentially where I pretty much lay all my first beads, and then I work that product down towards the tip to get that perfect thickness as my base thickness. And then we are going to work on top of that to build up the apex, and then finally go right into that cuticle area. So for this second bead, I'm placing it a little bit on the thicker side right above the first bead that we laid. We quickly blend it downwards while also keeping that top portion of the bead nice and chunky, if that makes sense. We're not blending it out at all. We want to keep that thickness. And then for the cuticle bead, I'm pretty much just going in, placing that right by the cuticle area, blending it downwards while holding the finger in a downward position. That is 100% key to not get the cuticle area to overflow with product, along with making sure that you perfect your liquid to powder ratio. So focus on that if you are struggling with your application near the cuticle area. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the application, and then we're going to get right into filing. once everything is nice and dry, I'm going to be taking my Efile at a speed of about 9,000 RPMs along with my 5-in-1 bit. I'm going to go around that cuticle area, making sure that it is nice and flush to her natural nail. This is going to help also prevent any lifting. If it is too thick in that area, I promise you it will lift. And if it's too thin, it will lift as well. So make sure that you are just making it nice and flush and keeping that thickness right at the apex area. I pretty much just go in, seal that cuticle, and then I'm gonna fully file the rest of the nail. Sometimes I decide to just go in and file the cuticle area with my Efile and then hand file the rest. It kind of just depends on what I'm feeling or kind of what I'm doing at that moment. If I am in a rush, I most definitely just use my Efile, but if I want to focus a little bit more or I feel like the nail isn't super perfect, I would prefer to use my hand file. Especially with longer nails, it is most definitely easier to file using a hand file. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that off, and then we're going to be taking the hand file to file those sides and the tip of the nail as well. Now once I get done with that, I'm going to go in with my hand file of choice. This one is the not polished hand file, and I'm going to be filing the sides, but as you notice, I kind of go underneath the nail as well. And I pretty much just do that to remove any of the exposed tip that I may have left. I focus a lot on my application on the sides, so sometimes that means that a little bit of the tip will possibly be exposed if you just continuously wipe those sides. So I'm pretty much just removing that at this point. I have my perfect shape and I can go ahead and pretty much just remove that excess tip. I'm gonna go ahead and also flip the hand around to look at the nails from her perspective, and I believe you could actually see it in this video for the first time in a very long time. I'm pretty much just flipping her hand around to look at it from a different perspective, and then I take my hand file and we file the tip that way. You are able to see the entire picture of the nail and pretty much the view that your client is going to be seeing on her hands. Now I did go ahead and file underneath the nail as well, just to make sure that that tip was nice and crisp looking. I'm going in with a sponge buffer from Profiles Backstage and making sure that that nail is nice and smooth for our nail art. Next, again, taking my lint free wipe and young nail swipe, and we're just going to be cleansing that surface, making sure that it is nice and dust free. You can always have your client wash their hands. I just prefer this because it's a little bit quicker. Now for our nail art application, I am using all of the liners from the Veeda Bella collection. So I am using here the long liner. They are dual-sided, which means you get 2 brushes in one, which is amazing. I'm going to go ahead and do my smile line, and then we infill the rest of that. I did mess up right there a little bit. I think my hand twitched a little. But fear no more. I'm taking the oopsie brush with the pointed side, and I'm going to go ahead and just clean that up with a little bit of young nail swipe. We are going to be doing an ombre style of nail art, so pretty much means that we're going from white to a very dark rich brown on each nail. So we started off with a pinky with white, and we're going to end with the thumbnail in a very dark rich brown. Now do note that this nail, I started off with a different color and then I ended up making a lighter version of it. I just felt like it matched too well with that acrylic that I used. So simply adding a little bit more white to that color made it pop a lot more. Now I'm gradually taking the same brown color that I used, and I added white to lighten it, and I'm adding black to deepen it up. So it has that same shade throughout the entire set. Again, simply doing that smile line and then infilling the rest of the nail. Next, I'm going to be going in with Matte It from Not Polished. This is an amazing matte top coat if y'all are looking for one. I'm going to go in with a thin layer of that, cure that in the light, and we're actually going to be doing textured sweater nails, which are my all-time favorite. And on brown, it was just like the perfect set in my eyes. I would totally do this on myself if I was doing my nails. It would really look cute as well. I think I've done it before with reds. It just looks so good. I feel like sweater nails are just one of those designs that will never go out of style. So I didn't show you guys the process on the pinky nail because the white really didn't show up on camera. So I'm pretty much just doing 2 vertical lines from the sides of the smile line, and then we are going to be doing the same thing, just miniature version down the center, and then we're going to cross and give it a nice little squiggle, and that gives you your braided sweater nail design. And then you can do dots, hearts, whatever your heart desires on the sides. You pretty much just need something so that when you go in with your powder, it grabs it and makes such a cute design. I am taking a nude acrylic for the rest of these nails. The white one, I used white powder. You can also use clear, but to make the color pop, I try to use either the same undertone of color or the exact same color if I have it. So we're just gonna go ahead and repeat that on the rest of the nails. Now do note that you wanna make sure that you pour some powder on there, let it set for a little bit, and then go in with multiple layers of that because it kind of seeps into the gel that you placed and the shine will come through and it's not gonna look cute. So you wanna make sure that you continue to pour powder over it until it is completely matte. That being said, make sure you are curing in your light for 2 rounds of 60 seconds. Otherwise, all that product will not cure properly. I just go in with my light and I press the 90-second option twice while I'm working on the other hand, and they are always good to go. Now that we have all our nails done, I'm going to go in with my favorite cuticle oil and just apply that around her cuticles. Give it a nice little rub in, and this stuff smells so good. But that pretty much concludes today's video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a ton, and I'll see you guys next time.